two individual bolts are. Looks like. It looks pretty simple. There's just all of the bolts are together. As you can see, they put them both together for you, which is good. Just keep everything together. Try not to lose any washers or anything. And I'm gonna switch these around because I want it to look uniform from the inside out. That way to look more in line with everything. Like I said, I might have to talk over this because it is wind. I do apologize for that. But I'm going to get it going. Leave. That goes through there. Over here. Outside. Just keep double checking the instructions here to make sure. There's 4. So there's 4 of them. Okay, the other 2 go on the bottom. Down there, we got to see that. That's where the other 2 bolts like this. With the little, I don't know if you can see the casing on that. The one that goes on the bottom of the, right here. And then the other one goes up where there's 2 holes down on the bottom, 2 holes up top. I think there's an extra hole that way you can adjust it to where you want it. Once you put the motor on, you'll see where you want it. I've also heard that they'll run this rod all the way up. Once the boat is inflated, it'll go all the way up to that first rod oar holder, because if the motor's too heavy, it's gonna bounce when you start turning it on. Sometimes it'll push down the back of the boat. So to be more stable, you can put it all the way out to this first oar holder, and it'll be more stable. I might do that too. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a floor in it, and I'm probably gonna mount it stable to the floor of the boat. That way, and you know, the motor, I have a 55 horse trolling motor, and it's heavy. So I want to make sure when I'm going at level 5, I don't bow the boat, you know, and it's not gonna affect the speed of the boat. So that's another tip. Just make sure everybody I've seen that has these always puts a floorboard in it, a 1-inch plyboard. They carpet it and they put pipe molding on around it to protect the inside of the boat. That way, when you're sitting in it, it's more stable. You can stand up. There's a lot of good things about it. So I will be doing that too. It's just a modification. I'm not doing that today, but I will be doing that too. I already have. I don't know. I bought a piece of cardboard to get my little mold, you know, to get the right size, and then I'm gonna cut the wood to it, sand it down, and then put it in the boat before, you know, probably by maybe in a couple weeks, because that way I want to just make sure I can get the boat out, put the mount on. Today I'm putting the mount on. I see why they say it should be flat, because once you put this one on top, you can move the boat and affix the bottom one through the hole before you inflate it. And I'll be inflating it after I put the mount on there, just to get an idea where it's going to be. I have another, and then I'll put the trolling motor on it, see where it's going to be, and we'll go from there. But I understand why they say make sure it's easier to just drop my washer, but I found it. It's easier to put on when it's deflated. Some people put it on when the third ring is inflated, which you can do, but I can see why they say do it while it's deflated. Someone said make sure you don't drop your washer. He was over grass when he did it, so because you have to take this apart and put the washer up against the head of the bolt. So do that before you get over any place where you could lose your washer. Put the washer on the bolt, you know, and hold it there before you put it on. And again, this one has adjustments too. There's two openings, so two holes for the bracket. So you can put it on the top one or the bottom one. And I might have to adjust it once I put the trolling motor on to see how much better or worse it's going to be, if it's higher or lower. So that's one of there's two holes, two different adjustments you can make here. But it's relatively easy if you just take a look at where everything goes on the diagram, because they don't tell you on the diagram. It's just a picture. So you just got to figure it out on your own. And just make sure, watch some YouTube videos, because the guys that I watched were very informative. Shout out to everybody that I watched with the Excursion 5. It's a really nice boat. You can do a lot with it. So, I mean, people are modifying these things and making them just like a bass boat. I have a bass boat. I had a boat I turned into a bass boat, and I modified that one. I put steering in it, put a motor on the back of it, and all that good stuff, and it works great. But the motor's down right now. I'm saving up to buy a brand new motor. So in the meantime, I bought this motor so I can go out and do what I want. You know what I mean? So the trolling motor will get me around. You know, because I'm right now you can fish. You don't have to go that far. The lakes that are up here in Northern California, you can drive. You know, in trolling motor, it doesn't matter. You can go hour, you know, or half hour to on a trolling motor, and you can fish along the shore, and you can catch lots of fish. It's really, really good fishing up here, especially right now. Okay, that one's done. Let me do the other one. Oh, I got it over here already. Washer out of there. Washer on the screws so I don't lose it. Put on there. I put mine on the lower hole so I can adjust it afterwards if I want. Just want to make sure, see how much better or worse it's going to be on the lower hole or the higher one. So those are in now. I think they're looking pretty good. And this is part of the setup. When you're out on the lake, some guys took about probably 20-25 minutes because they took it there, deflated. I have a pump too, the cordless pump. Took them about 15-20 minutes to blow it up because there's 3 sections. You go to the middle, which is the floor. The first one is the floor. Then there's the middle ring. As you can see, that's inflated now, and then the outer ring is the last one to do. So next is going to be the mounting. Double check my instructions again. Just keep an eye. You know, just take your time. There's no rush because you want to get learning how to do it the right way. So they come around the inside. They'll come inside the inside of these on the board, and then they'll screw into the 4 holes here. And you can see this braided part here, the braided part up top. Yeah, that goes on top. That's going to be on the top of the motor. So that's you're going to mount it on the boat like this with the top part, this braided part up top. And then they're going to go. The screws are going to go from the inside. And then you're gonna mount like that, and you're gonna bolt them on this side. So that's what we're gonna do. Bring these over here. I'm gonna bring the box so I can leave them on top of it. Determine how high or low you want the mount to be. And it sits inside. There's a little groove. There's a groove in here on both sides, so you can set the pipes right in there, and you can move and adjust it where you need it. So again, make sure you get your washers in hand before you put it through the bolts. You put the bolts through the holes. There's 2 washers. You can go through the 2 holes on the bottom. There's 4, so you do the bottom ones first. Doesn't really matter. Find your holes. Tight. So, okay. So I think I was going through the wrong ones. See, that top one worked. Yeah, I think they're brand new. So it's, yeah, they're brand new. So I thought I was doing it wrong, but they're just really tight, which is good. So let's try this again. Slide that in the grooves. Find the hole. Here and here. There we go. That side there. Okay. Nuts on there. That's one. I want to at least get one side done on the top, and then I can do the other side on the top because it's more stable. So you have 4 of these to do. So take off one of the bolts, nuts, bolts, whatever you want to call it. Take the washers, set those aside, then find your hole around the back of it. And go from there. Come all the way through. Then put your washers on each. And that way, you can do one at a time if you want, but just make sure you hold it there. Put your nuts on there. It's really, like I said, they really, you pay attention to the directions. Just take your time. Watch a couple videos. Just get comfortable. This first time I've ever done it. I'm excited about it because I can put a trolling motor on. That's going to get me further around the lake than just trying to, fish from shore. And it's a really sturdy boat, from what I understand. It holds 1,000 pounds, which, I'm a bigger guy, and with all my stuff, I'll probably put 200-300 pounds in there, and it's gonna hold that. I've seen people that have 3 people, 3 adults, 2 kids, right? Plus the cooler, chairs, the battery, and it was fine. So there's the top. I got the top ones done. And we'll do the bottom one, and then we'll be done. It doesn't take long because all the parts are there. You just got to take your time. There's 4 bolts, and taking it apart, same thing too. Just take your time. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this on there or not, because you can deflate it and carry it around in a bag, and just put your mount. I think the mount won't fit in the bag bag, so you're gonna have to just have it separate, you know. Or you might be able to fold it down with the mount on it, but I don't know how that's gonna work. I'll find out though. So we're gonna do the bottom ones now. Light over here. Oh, I left my light on the tape. Wash it over there. Here. So I see you should bring your board up, because if you go too low, there's a looks like there's a little wedge that's in between there, that if you go too low, you're not gonna be able to put your U-bolt through. So I'm gonna have to take these, loosen these up, bring it up, probably to the top. It's at number 4 right now, but I'll bring it up to like number 1, because there's little lines, little ledges all the way down. This one's just on number 4 right now, so I'll bring it up to like probably number 1. That'll give me enough room. So just keep that in mind. You don't want the mount to be too low. You want that to be higher up. So you learn as you go, you know. You learn as you go. So take this off. Loosen it up a little bit so it can come out. You can move it up. And move this one up to number 1. And be careful about those washers again, you know, because once it's loose, those washers will come off. So take my washer off. Here, so I don't lose it. Then I can bring it up to number 1, and then you attach it. There you go. That will be higher now. Now it's on number 1. So now I know the other side's going to be high enough to go above that little wedge in between the U part of this bracket here. All right. Cinch that down, and I'll loosen this one up. Move this one up to number 1. And then I'll be able to do the lower side to both of them. What I should do was lay this on some cardboard or something. That way if you do drop something, you're not going to lose it in the grass, because it's very easy to do. especially if the grass is high. Here. Listen up. Okay. Now they're even. Since those down. Wash it on there. And these are big too, so the nuts are pretty big. They're easy to handle. It's a lot of, you know, they're really user friendly, I guess you would say, because you drop a little nut somewhere, you know it's going to take you a minute to try and find it. There we go. Alright, Intex is from what I see, it's a pretty common. I mean, this is I think a 3 or 4 year old boat. They had them in the Excursion number 4, and that was 3 or 4 years ago. And people modified that one. Then they came up with the 5. So like, and it was, you know, a lot of people have them. There's a lot of people that don't have room for a boat. They need to pack it up and put it in the bag, and, you know, keep it in the garage, or have it live in an apartment or whatever. They're really, really good for that. You know what I mean? They're really, really good for it. And it's a pretty sturdy boat. I sat in it when I had it full up, and there's plenty of room. Plenty of room. I took out the middle seat, and then the other seat here, so I could measure the inside for the floor, because I will be putting a floor. I'm probably gonna put a temporary one. I can get a couple pieces of cardboard, tape them up, so I can get an idea. You know what I mean? That way, it's gonna, you know, be a little more stable, and I can put a chair in there instead of the seats you see in the boat over there. They lay back, and they're not comfortable at all. I mean, you're laying back trying to drive the trolling motor, and you don't need to do that. What you can have if you have a floor that's sturdy, people are putting boat seats in it. You can do like the regular ones that you see, the portable ones that you take to the park or the pool. People sit in those, that way you're higher up, and it's better. You know, it's a lot better. So this boat has a lot of versatility. I really like it. And it's big. It's 12 foot long. So it's good. That's why I said it holds 5 people. But if you only have 2, you got plenty of room for a cooler. You can make a little makeshift live well. You can use that to keep your fish in. You can have your food in there. You can have room for the battery. You can have, if someone put a bench seat in there with cup holders. There's so many cool things that you can do with this Excursion 5. So I'll be modifying mine to that degree for sure. So I got a couple more to do. Now that I raised it up, I can actually go through the bottom now. It'll come all the way through because there's a wedge that was stopping me before. But it shouldn't stop me now. There, see that? Came all the way through. That's no pressure. Wash it on there. One bolt here. This side will be done, and we have one more bolt, and then I'll inflate it, and I'll see how much room I have for my trolling motor. See how far that's going to sit. The trolling motor, like I said, I have a 55 horse, and also I have a smaller one, 36 power, and I think I have a 28 too. So it's going to depend. I'm going to be putting the 55 for sure, but the 28's fine. This is going to get you around the lake pretty good. You're on there having fun anyway. You're not in a hurry to go anywhere. So, at least I'm not. I'm enjoying them being outside, fishing and all that good stuff. So time is not really a big deal for me. I'm gonna be curious to find out how much power, how much room I'm gonna have for this 55 quarters. Let's see. Hold that. There we go. washer. That on there. Right side.